This is SSPTV News, brought to you by Samsung Productions and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
We have a segment containing information that could mean the difference between life and death. See how you can save a life next. Happy Valentine's Day. We love that you're spending time with us. I'm your Valentine for the next 30 minutes, Ken Cara. Please don't change the channel. Here's your headlines from SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. A woman had to be freed from her car following a crash this morning near 15th and Alter Streets in Hazleton. Emergency responders arrived on the scene to find that a woman was trapped inside her car after it crashed and landed on top of another car. Rescuers had to stabilize the vehicle and remove the woman through the passenger side window of her car. No one was inside the other car at the time of the crash. A Tamaqua man has been charged with attempted murder as the result of a shooting incident early Sunday morning in the borough. Tamaqua police charged Charles Heffelfinger Jr. with one felony count of attempted murder in the 3rd degree, aggravated assault, and other charges. Borough police responded to a report of a person shot as the result of an altercation. It happened just before 2 a.m. Sunday. Police found 36-year-old Gary Rydell lying face up in the street, saying that he had been shot. Heffelfinger was arraigned and committed to the Schuylkill County Prison in lieu of $75,000 straight bail, and you can read more about the incident in today's Standard Speaker and at standardspeaker.com. If you're planning to attend tonight's McAdoo Borough Council meeting, we have important information for you. Because of the anticipated crowd for tonight's meeting, the location has been changed. Tonight's meeting will be held at the former Keystone Fire Company to allow room for the expected crowd. A large turnout is expected to hear from officials of PennDOT who will discuss a very large repaving job along Route 309 in the borough this summer. Just last year, PennDOT paved a portion of Route 309 between Onreed and McAdoo. Tonight's McAdoo Council meeting gets underway at 7 p.m. and again it will be held at the former Keystone Fire Company. The Butler Township Supervisors will meet tonight at 6 p.m. During their meeting, the public will have the opportunity to comment on zoning changes for a proposed hospital on the Airport Beltway in Butler Township. The Lehigh Valley Hospital Network has proposed plans for a medical complex on a piece of land shared by Hazel Township and Butler Township. Meanwhile, Butler Township supervisors may also decide whether or not to advertise a medical marijuana ordinance. While no one has yet applied for a license in the township, anyone interested in applying to grow and process medical marijuana in Pennsylvania must apply by the March 20th deadline. Hazleton and Hazel Township are currently considering how to regulate such facilities should any be proposed for their communities. Well, today is Valentine's Day, and the month of February is also Heart Month. It is also the perfect time to learn a simple action that could literally help save the life of someone you know or love. Lisa Sugart has the details.
Well, this is Heart Month, and appropriately so, a special free hands-only CPR class is being offered by the Lehigh Valley Health Network. Here to tell us all about it are two of the ladies who know a lot about this procedure, and that is, to my right, Laura Jones. She's a registered nurse with the Lehigh Valley Health Network, and Barbara Hunsinger, also a registered nurse. Laura, I'm going to start with you. There are some pretty staggering statistics about episodes that happen in people who are not prepared to act to help save a life.
Correct. 90% of cardiac arrests actually happen out of the hospital. So this only goes to show you that for you to know CPR and do CPR is probably going to be to somebody you know or somebody you really care about. And that will increase when you do that CPR. That's going to increase their chances of survival by 2 to 3 times of the normal.
And is it one of the reasons people are hesitant because they don't want to do the mouth-to-mouth?
Right. They don't want to put their mouth on somebody they don't know, and understandably so. But again, your body already has all that oxygen in your system that just doing those compressions to move that oxygen around in that body to all those major organs will, again, increase those chances of survival.
So this is just hands-only CPR. This is a free event that's taking place, so people can't say, I can't afford to go.
Exactly, and that's why we are very passionate about CPR and saving lives at Lehigh Valley Health Center. So we are offering this community, and it is a hands-on only CPR class. We are going to have actually 2 of them. We're having one on February 16th, and it is going to be at the Hazelton Health and Wellness Center from 5 p.m. And actually it is for ages 13 and older. And then we are having a second one also, Lisa, next week. We're going to have it on February 23rd, and that is going to be held at the Mountaintop Health Center, and that is also going to be at 5 p.m.
So there's no excuse to not come and do this, and it's not difficult to learn.
It's very easy to learn. Just remember that the easiest thing that we can always tell you and we will teach you is there's only 2 steps to this, and it is basically call 911 and push hard and fast on the chest.
All right, so now we're going to actually show a demonstration of how simple it is to do this hands-only CPR.
All right, very, very simple. As Laura's going to show you, it is very simple. So you have a person down. You're going to actually just take the palm of your hand. You're going to look for the center of the chest, and you're going to put your palm down. You're going to put your other hand exactly on top, and you're going to actually push hard and fast, okay? But before you even do all that, what I want you to do is make sure someone has called 911 before that, because you want help to arrive as soon as possible. Just remember, as Laura said, it will take at least 3 to 5 minutes before you can get your EMS to actually get to the site. So you want someone to actually be doing compressions until that occurs. So you're going to keep doing CPR this way until help arrives, or until someone else can take another turn and they can actually continue and perform CPR until help does get there.
So now you've seen the procedure and how simple it is. And again, the event's coming up. 2 opportunities. It is free, but people have to register.
They do have to register, so we're asking them to call the Health and Wellness Center. It is 501, and it is 6600.
All righty. And Laura, this is something that everybody should do. They shouldn't be intimidated by going to learn this. And like you said, unfortunately, it might be somebody we know or love that we have to save.
Absolutely. That's why, again, it is so important. So please come to the class, bring your family members. Again, 13 and older, the whole family could come. Again, the chances of it being somebody you know and love is astronomical.
Well, this is a great opportunity. There's no fee involved. So take advantage either this Thursday, February 16th, 5 o'clock at the Health and Wellness Center, or next Thursday, the 23rd, also at 5 o'clock at the Health Center in Mountaintop. It's Heart Month. This is the perfect opportunity for you to learn hands-only CPR.
Thanks, Lisa. In other news, today is the last day to enter to win a $500 Laurel Mall shopping spree in the mall's Gifts from the Heart promotion. Get your entry form in the Hazelton Standard Speaker, fill it out, and drop it off at Center Court at the mall tonight. The grand prize is a $500 shopping spree, and there are additional great prizes. SSPTV's The Girls will draw the winning names at Center Court in the Laurel Mall tomorrow at noon, so good luck. Coming up on SSPTV News, another segment with the Standard Speaker's Kent Jackson for lovers of the great outdoors. And I'll have a special Valentine's Day sports segment for you in a little bit. This is SSPTV News, your place for 24 hours of your hometown news and information.
This is SSPTV News, brought to you by Samsung Productions and the Hazelton Standard Speaker.
This Saturday marks the 16th annual No Tap Bowling Tournament to benefit Community Services for Sight in Hazelton. The tournament will be held at Valley Lanes in Sybertsville. The cost is $18 for 3 games. There are 3 shifts, 12:30 p.m., 4 p.m., and 7:30 p.m. If you are unable to bowl in person, you can make a pin sponsor or make a donation to Community Services for Sight. For more information or to register, call 570-455-0421. You can also register in person the day of the event. We will have much more on the tournament tomorrow on SSPTV News. Time now to go back outside with Kent Jackson.
Here's a chance to do something outdoorsy without leaving your sofa. The Great Backyard Bird Count happens from February 17th to 20th. To take part, you just look out the window. The birds that people like you and me count during the weekend help scientists know where birds are staying and how their populations change from year to year. This is the 20th year for the count, and the numbers of birds sighted aren't all that have been going up. The count of people taking part zoomed from 13,500 the first year to 163,000 last year. While the count started in the United States and Canada, people now send tallies from 100 countries. If you take part, there are some rules. Set aside at least 15 minutes for watching birds without interruption. Count the most birds you see of each species at one time. That means if a flock of sparrows lands in your yard, try to count how many there are and record that number on a blank for the species. If there are too many to count, block off an area and count the birds there, then estimate how many blocks of that size the flock occupies. If a nuthatch flies back and forth from your neighbor's yard to your feeder 10 times in 15 minutes, just count it once. To file your count, create a free account at the website gbbc.birdcount.org or ebird.org. A form will allow you to record your location, day, time, and any comments you have, such as whether the birds are eating or what they're doing, and you can comment about the weather or other noteworthy happenings. Then a checklist of species will pop up and you can note the number that you saw of each species. You also can file photos and sound records that you make of birds. It helps to learn the species that you are likely to see ahead of time. In Luzerne County last year, the house sparrow, European starling, mourning dove, dark-eyed junco, robin, downy woodpecker, bluebird, and goldfinch were among the common species. If you don't recognize those birds or the birds in your yard, look at a bird book or check an online guide. I like All About Birds, done by the Cornell Lab of Ornithology, one of the sponsors of the Backyard Count. It contains photos, written information, song recordings, and migration maps for about any bird that'll be on the checklist. It helps you recognize unexpected birds, too. 2 years ago, pine siskins came to my yard. They usually stay north in Canada, but sometimes venture farther south to the States in trips that birders call eruptions. After I reported, one of the experts who monitor submissions emailed to ask if I was sure I saw pine siskins. I was, because I had taken a photo and emailed it to a friend who is an expert, and he made the identification for me. During the Great Backyard Bird Count, you can submit checklists as often as you like in intervals of 15 minutes or more. If you want to walk around the block or take a hike, you can record the birds you see on your trip, but that's optional. I promised you can do this without leaving the sofa.
Time now for weather on SSPTV News.
Kent Jackson is cooler than this ice right here in our area. Let's see what your Valentine's evening is looking like weather-wise. Here's our local forecast from the National Weather Service. Tonight we'll have increasing clouds with a low of 31 degrees. Our Wednesday we have a 20% chance of snow showers after 10 a.m., but it will be partly sunny with a high near 34, and it will be windy with gusts as high as 25 miles per hour. At night we'll have wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour and a 20% chance of snow showers. Our low will be 21 degrees. For Thursday, partly sunny with a high of only 28 degrees, wind gusts as high as 30 miles per hour. Once again at night, partly cloudy, low in the teens. Friday, mostly sunny with a high of 32. Friday night will get down to 22 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Saturday looks mostly sunny with a high of 44, and then Saturday night partly cloudy, low of 35 degrees.
Backyard Edgewood by Sand Springs in the beautiful bridal suite on this nice, comfortable furniture with Samantha Burkowski, who this is the face you'll see when you come in to talk about booking any of your events, whether it be a wedding, a bridal party, a reunion, a confirmation party,
Sure.
you know, those are coming up, birthday parties, anything that you need a venue for. You can do that here.
Absolutely, we do it all. So we do have one major ballroom that we can hold larger parties, and we do have our azalea room as well that can hold smaller parties too. So really it's your one-stop venue for any of those events.
The thing that is great about Edgewood is that you keep yourself trained. recently you went and you were certified in bridal consulting.
Yes, correct.
What does that mean?
So we were recently certified by the Bridal Society. So now I am a certified wedding coordinator. So really that means we do have a background and training in all sort of consultation practices for a potential bride. We are also able to keep your brides on point with their milestones, where they need to be at certain points in their planning process as well. You know, so we can always help them 6 months out, 3 months out, where exactly they need to be with their planning.
And that's great because it takes that pressure off of the bride, knowing the background of what transpires when you are planning an enormous party like a wedding, and worrying about the seating chart and worrying about the behind the scenes. There's a lot of those little things that we don't think about that you can actually offer advice based on the training that you've had.
Sure, absolutely. So just as you mentioned, you know, seating, anything from seating to you know, exactly where to place their vendors or how to pay their vendors even, you know, we can certainly help them, obviously offer up some ideas and kind of keep them on track through the entire planning process all the way up until the day of the event.
And they could also bounce some ideas off you
Sure.
from experience and dealing with the whole, again, behind the scenes. You can know, you can offer some suggestions that would make it easier on the bride,
Yes.
easier on their guests as well.
Absolutely. So it's really great, and it's something that only Edgewood by Sand Springs and Sand Springs Country Club has. We are all certified wedding coordinators now, which is really wonderful. It's a great credential to have.
All right, well, thanks for joining us here. We'll see you next week on SSPTV News.
Here's a great last-minute Valentine's Day gift, money. Here's your midday winning lottery numbers on SSPTV. Pick 2, 22, pick 3, 035, pick 4, 9442, and pick 5, 13483. We have a very special Valentine's Day story in sports when we come back.
Time now for sports on SSPTV News.
And you have that special Valentine sports story coming up. We are leading off with the SSPTV standard speaker scoreboard. You saw how hard we were both playing, even though it doesn't matter in the standings. That's what Hazleton area head coach Joe Gavio said after the Lady Cougars beat Pittston area on Monday. Both teams were out of the running for the Wyoming Valley Conference Division I championship when they met, but it was still a battle. Maddie Morochko hit 27 points for Hazleton. She also nailed a huge half-court shot before halftime. The Schuylkill League girls basketball playoffs tip off tonight at Martz Hall. In the first game that will start at 6 p.m., it's Division II champ Minersville. They will play Pine Grove, the wild card team out of Division I. Monoy area is the Division III champ, and Pottsville reigns over Division I. They will meet at 7:30 p.m. The championship game is set for Friday at 6 p.m. The Scranton-Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders sent local baseball coaches an early Valentine over the weekend. Let's check out the first ever free coaches clinic hosted by Rail Riders University at PNC Field in Moosic. This story is all about love. Love of baseball. Like any relationship, baseball takes work, and you have to be willing to invest a lot of time in cultivating the relationship. But when you're in love, it hardly feels like it's a chore.
And that's a great thing about baseball is no matter how long you played it, no matter how long you're involved in it, you're always learning new things.
Scranton-Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders business development executive Russ Kanzler took his relationship with baseball all the way to the majors. So did one of the Rail Riders owners, Andy Ashby. Both are NEPA guys who just couldn't walk away from the game and move on to something else after their playing careers were over.
You know, I remember him playing here when I was a kid. He's a Pittston guy, and he's got some unbelievable war stories about his time in the game and playing with some of the greats like Tony Gwynn and his experiences with the Padres. So he's been really cool. I think there's going to be a lot of good insight from him. We're actually hosting a brief Q&A right now with some of our coaches and just hearing some of his stories. I mean, I'm picking his brain and I'm learning things too.
Kanzler and Ashby were tasked with professing their love for the game during the Rail Riders' first ever coaches clinic. They spoke to a packed room hovering over that great symbol of lasting love, the diamond. Kanzler spoke about hitting. Yes, he talked about drills that could help the coaches, but he also talked about how frustrating a relationship with baseball can be.
And one of the most overlooked topics in baseball is the mental side of the game, and helping young players develop some sort of mental system to just help them be more successful, because this is by far, you know, the most self-esteem damaging game in the world. So to have a strong mental plan, it's just going to help you carry on for the rest of your life.
Ryan Jastrzemski is MMI Preparatory School 7th and 8th grade coach. There's a lot of failing in baseball. How do 7th and 8th graders deal with that, and how do you get them to keep coming back?
It's just part of, you know, being a coach and part of teaching the game and understanding that, you know, you're going to make mistakes. And, you know, like I said before about life lessons, that's kind of a big one. You know, it's okay to fail sometimes, you know, and it's how you come back from it, how you approach the next play or the next, you know, at bat, and you know, move on.
Recently, there's been a lot to love about our area for college recruiters and Major League scouts.
We're at a great place right now locally with the talent that we have coming out of this area. I mean, northeastern Pennsylvania is slowly becoming a baseball powerhouse. There's a kid every year that's either going to play professional baseball or play Division I college baseball. So if we can kind of help teams from a young age, whether it's little leagues or a little bit older than that, just have a good foundation to produce quality baseball players, then we're doing something right.
There have been so many good players to come out, and recently from our area, going to Division I or being drafted. Do your kids kind of know about this? Do kids, are they taking it seriously, saying, I see these other kids?
Well, absolutely. And, you know, don't forget we had Eddie Herbner last year. You know, graduated. He's you know, pitching at Bloomsburg now. So you know, Eddie's just an example of, you know, you could do something in baseball if you want to. It's definitely a game where there's opportunities if you work hard and put the time in, and good things will happen for you.
So the whole point of the clinic is to help a younger generation improve their skills, to keep their relationship with baseball strong, to make sure they can play the game for as long as they can, to make their love of the game last a lifetime. Who doesn't love baseball? If you don't like sports, it does mean that the warmer weather is coming. All right, coming up next on SSPTV News, we have your social report.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's Talk of the Town report. First tonight, the Pennsylvania State Police are now accepting applications for their annual Camp Cadet program. The camp is open to boys and girls between the ages of 12 and 14 and whom reside in Troop N area. The camp will be held from July 16th through the 21st and will give young people a better understanding of law enforcement activities. Deadline for applications is March 31st. For info, just call 570-459-3890, extension 269. Our next announcement, the Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce is offering a roadway flagger certification training on Thursday, March 9th. Z Medical will present the training from 8:30 to 11:30 at the Chamber offices located in downtown Hazleton. Registration is $60 for members, $75 for non-members, and for info, just call 570-455-1509. And finally, the SAFE organization will be hosting their first annual Shamrockin' for Autism Saturday, March 18th from 7 to 11 p.m. The event will be held at the Valley Country Club. Cost is $40 and includes 2 carving stations, hors d'oeuvres, DJ, cash bar, turkey trays, and 50/50s. For info, just call 570-822-7259. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. SSPTV News would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Heather Mahon of Weatherly. Funeral is Friday at 8 p.m. from the Philip J. Jeffries Funeral Home. Friends may call Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. Gary P. Gallagher Jr. of Hazel Township. Mass is Wednesday at 10 a.m. at the Holy Rosary Church. Friends may call Wednesday from 9 to 10 at the church. Arrangements are under the direction of the Joseph B. Conahan Funeral Home. Charles K. Sheeman of Freeland. Funeral is Thursday at 12:30 p.m. from the McNulty Funeral Home. Friends may call Wednesday from 7 to 9 p.m. and Thursday from 11:30 to 12:30 p.m. And Regina M. Pushover of West Hazleton. Mass is Saturday at 10 a.m. in the Good Shepherd Roman Catholic Church. Friends may call at the church from 9 to 10 a.m. Arrangements are under the direction of the Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home.
Who's excited about the big chocolate sale tomorrow? And who's excited about more SSPTV News tomorrow? I'll see you then. Have a good night and take it easy, everyone.
Watch us online anytime at ssptv.com and follow us on Facebook and Twitter.